Good morning. Happy holidays. I know it's Christmas, and for the first time I'm trying Insta Live and Facebook Live, so wish me luck. I'm here because I've been getting lots of private messages, text, questions about immune protocols and how to really best support yourself during this season. So I really wanted to take some time to go through it here. I'm sharing this in our private Facebook Live group that we have for our members, and I'm sharing it here with you guys because I know that a lot of you also follow me here, and just really wanting to get out the word. So I come from a family of medical doctors, and I have gotten the message from all different ways that this year the flu is going to be strong. You know, whether or not you do the flu shot, that's not the conversation I want to get into today, but apparently this year's flu shot has pretty poor results. They can monitor that by the results that they had in Australia. And so this is the year, if ever before, to really learn how to use your oils preventatively beforehand, and also then what to do when things start to target yourself, your children, the elders in your life, really, because the flu can be quite dangerous, right? So we're not going to go into that. We're going to talk more about preventative here today, and then a little indications of how to deal with things when they come in. So I welcome questions. I welcome any kind of possibility that's going on in your home right now. And I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. So just know that I'm going to go through lots of options. Sometimes I talk a little fast, and maybe you can come back, take notes, and get what you need to out of this. So first and foremost, I'm going to go through the top 10 oils that come in most starter kits. So the Family Essentials kit or the Home Essentials kit. The only difference between the two of those kits is the Family Essentials, you get a smaller bottle, whereas the Home Essentials, you get a bigger bottle, right? So they're the same oils. And in the Home Essentials, you also get a diffuser, which I can't imagine living without. We have one in almost every room: kitchen, living room, bathroom, bedroom. I find them to be a necessary piece. So that's, oh, hi Harvey, nice to see you. So that's one of my go-tos. So when you start with those starter kits, you get top 10 oils. You get OnGuard, Breathe, frankincense, peppermint, melaleuca, lemon, lavender, digescent, and I seem to have OnGuard. I seem to have 2 frankincenses here because guess what? That's my favorite. So anyhow, when you get those, I'm going to go through those first because I know those are primarily the ones that most here on our private group do have. And then I'm going to talk about some of the additional stuff that can go with that. So preventatively, for respiratory system, this little guy, Breathe, is my favorite. I would say we probably diffuse this almost every single night while we're sleeping. It's wonderful to support the respiratory system. It's incredible to get that the airways really open and clear. So if you have a snorer in your life, it can help reduce snoring too, as a little side benefit. I absolutely love the way it smells. It has eucalyptus in it, cardamom, lime, peppermint, ravensara, laurel leaf, melaleuca, to name a few. So this is a wonderful oil to use preventatively. Yes, you can use it if a cold does settle in, but I think we need to think about stronger options when that occurs. So Breathe, preventatively. Another preventative one is our protective blend. So it's called OnGuard, or our protective blend, right? So the little wording underneath says protective blend. This is your best friend this winter, you guys. Put it on the bottoms of your feet every morning. You can take a drop internally. This is an internal use oil from doTERRA. And you can put a little bit on the back of your neck. This in Chinese medicine is what we call one of the wind points, or an entry point. You know, your grandmother always said wear a scarf. She was right. We do want to keep that neck protective. Yes, Harvey, you can use the Breathe oil on your chest. Absolutely. It can open things up for sure. You can also, it's not an internal use one, but you can also do a steam, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. So stay with me. And the OnGuard, other ways you can use it is, actually we have a whole cleaning line with it, but you can also use it when you're flying, just really easily kind of doubt it about, because many of you are flying during the holidays, and clean the whole surface area around you so that you're really protecting yourself. So bottoms of the feet, back of the neck, internally you can gargle with it, is also a really nice option. I'm gonna go move forward now. So those are some preventative. So OnGuard is also really nice to combine with frankincense. Okay, so these two, OnGuard and frankincense, together are great for cellular health, protection, and preventative. So it's going to boost up your immune system. So when you're at that holiday party and your uncle that you love that you haven't seen coughs on his hand and reaches out to, hug you, you're not going to feel like, oh, this fear in you, because you have that strength within. Okay, so these are great. Also, frankincense is one that I recommend a daily drop under your tongue every day. It's fantastic for cellular health. If you look it up, Google it, see all of the benefits that frankincense essential oil can do. It is beautiful. It is a holy oil. Okay. Now, let's talk about melaleuca and oregano, and I'm really speaking specifically about immune system now, you guys. Both these oils are going to do other things. Well, all these oils are going to do other things. What I'm really talking about today is your immune system and colds and flus, just to make sure that those of you that are joining in, you can really have that clarity. So I think of oregano as our big guns. I think of it as nearly equivalent to an antibiotic. If you Google it, also you'll see all its properties. Most people in the world know about oregano oil for boosting immune system. So our essential oil is much more potent. So that's one thing to keep in mind. This is classified as a hot oil. So this is one that you would not actually rub directly on your chest. It would burn you. So this is one that you always want to dilute. I recommend using our fractionated coconut oil. Other things that if you're needing to without waiting for it to come in the mail, a really nice one, Trader Joe's has an argan oil that's really nice. So this is a nice one to dilute with as well as a secondary one. Also, I like this one on the face. So it's a little tip. Diluting it on the bottoms of the feet, or actually putting it, you can make your own capsules. I'm sorry I didn't bring it over here to the table, but you can actually make your own capsules and take this internally. So I like to add, if you're going to take oregano internally, 1 or 2 drops of the frankincense. Frankincense plus the oregano, because frankincense is a mover, so it's going to help that integrate into all the different body systems that it needs to be in. So oregano, kind of think of it as your, okay, the OnGuard and the frankincense wasn't strong enough. It didn't keep me well. I am now going down, right? You're starting to feel more compromised. That's a moment where you're going to want to think about busting out the oregano. Melaleuca is a nice option too. This one is more gentle. You do not need to dilute it. We usually think of it as all things skin. Melaleuca has it's tea tree oil, for those of you that are familiar with that, but it has such a sweet aroma because it's pure. doTERRA's oils are pure. And this is one of the ones I like to share with people who are used to other essential oils, because it's very obvious from the scent of it how clean and pure, and how you can just put it right there over your lymph. It's a really good place. And over here, just to open up the chest a little bit. I love to add this with eucalyptus in the shower in the morning to open up any of that kind of chronic congestion. So I do keep eucalyptus and melaleuca in my shower. I have done that for quite a while. It feels like your own little European spa. So that's there. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the extra ones that we have. So we have peppermint. So peppermint is an amazing oil. It's very cooling, so you can use it if the temperature does rise. When you're fighting something off to help drop the temperature, it's very, very safe for all ages. But peppermint is also very useful to use in a steam. So I'm going to talk about a steam right now because very, very often we forget. We know how we can use our oils internally. We know that we can use them in the diffuser and we can put them on topically, but we forget about this method of a steam. So this is a cup of just boiling water. It was boiling before I started. And actually, you want to wait till the boiling goes down just a drop so you're not frying your face with that steam. And what I like to use if there's any congestion is doing this quite a few times a day to really clear it before it turns yellow or green, right? Because when it turns yellow or green, we know that the presence of a bacteria or even perhaps even a virus is there. So I like to do 1 drop, right? So I'm not going to open it, but 1 drop of your oregano, 1 drop of your peppermint, which is going to open up the passages and bring that into on a deeper level. Anybody who smells peppermint knows how much it opens everything up. And then you can use lemon. Lemon is really lovely. All the citrus oils are really good for clearing out mucus and also for opening up and supporting the respiratory system. And if you have it, which isn't in your top 10 oils, lime. Lime has more of an affinity for cough. It's actually, so for my science friends, let's take a minute and think that all these oils are a bunch of chemistry in a bottle, which I love. Actually, out of all my years of studying medicine, the oils taught me chemistry more than anything. And the chemical constituents in lime has a greater affinity than lemon for the respiratory system and cough. So if you have both, these are very affordable oils, the citrus oils. They're all very low, all under $20. I recommend having them all so you can get targeted and specific in your kit. Add the lime, okay? So I'm gonna go back. We're gonna say oregano, peppermint, lemon, or lime. You can also use melaleuca if you want, and then you're gonna just breathe it in. You're not gonna drink it because this is not necessarily the tea to drink. This is to open up the nasal passages. You're just gonna breathe it in. Probably up to 10 breaths. So you're also breathing. I recommend having tissues on hand. It's going to open things up and get things moving. And you're going to do this a lot if you're feeling sick. So once or twice a day, it's not really going to be enough. Our oils move through our blood system very, very rapidly. And so we want to do it low dose, right? 1 drop of each, high frequency, many times. And I also really highly recommend doing it a day past when you're feeling better, because the oils will help you get better faster and the body is utilizing that support. So when we take that support away before it actually has really fully cleared, we may actually regress and start to feel unwell again. So it's really important to carry it through. Okay. Other oils to use for congestion that may not be thought of in that top 10 kit is our digestive blend. So Digestion is really thought of most for digestive support, all kinds of digestive support. So constipation and diarrhea, acid reflux, all of these things that we have, overeating, which is going to happen probably this week, these next few days, eating things we don't really usually eat and feeling unwell because of it. So the Digestion is also really useful when we're working with congestion. You can put a little bit right underneath here. These are acupuncture points that we use to open up the nasal passages. You also can put a little bit on the bridge of your nose. It's going to go right into what's there, the sinuses. It's going to go right in there. And what's in this blend has ginger, which is really great for colds, right? A lot of us think of ginger tea, peppermint, coriander, tarragon, fennel, and anise. A few others. You can also put a little drop right around your belly button. There's a huge connection between mucus producing here and that also in the gut. So using both together is going to really be very helpful in supporting you through that process. Okay. Now lavender. Lavender is actually really great to incorporate in your children's immunity blends because it's soft and soothing, and often young ones are feeling kind of irritable when they have a cold. They can't express what they're feeling or experiencing or knowing. So adding in and making your own roller, okay? So making your own roller, I love making rollers with children because it's kind of like you can mix them up in your hand and dilute each time, and it gets to feel like exhausting. But when you have a roller, actually the kids start to notice that they feel better and they want to use it, and it's very safe. So you probably want to make your concoction of whatever it is to about here rather than worrying about how many drops, and then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. There is specific formulas that I do teach for different ages. If you want to ask me about that, and I can send you some more information. But for the purposes of me trying to stay somewhat cohesive in this live experience on Facebook and Instagram, I'm going to just keep it at that. But so for children, adding some frankincense, lavender, and maybe 1 or 2 drops of OnGuard in there, and even 1 drop of oregano, right? Because remember, you're going to fill up the rest with the dilution. So it's going to really help soothe. And then you're going to apply that on their spine, the bottoms of their feet. If they're really little and you don't want them touching their feet, make sure you put socks on. Okay. So lavender is really soothing, and it actually has some antibacterial properties. And so if you have any sensitivity to taking the oregano, then I would guide you more towards the melaleuca and the lavender, and putting the oregano, putting that on your feet until you do some gut healing, which is a whole nother conversation. Okay. So I think the only one that maybe isn't really cold and flu related in your top 10 oils is the deep blue. But very often when we go into that pre-flu mode, we can feel aches and pains. So this is a good one for aches and pains, and you can think of using that. In the winter, I highly recommend, and here's where I'm going to start pulling in some other oils. I highly recommend bringing in the ginger with this for warming, because this is a very cooling oil. It does have helichrysum in it, which isn't that cooling, but most of the other oils in here are pretty cooling by nature. So bringing in a ginger or even a cinnamon, and then also diluting and making your own little roller is a really nice way to use that. So ginger essential oil is fantastic for warming the extremities. Lots of us feel cool in our extremities before we fall with an illness. So this is a great one to add to your feet before going out and shoveling that snow. It's snowing right here, so I'm thinking snow. I know a lot of you are in LA and you're like, snow? But you never know. I hear it's pretty cold there right now, so that's why I'm getting all these texts and questions about how do I use my oils, right? So I'm stepping away from the more preventative mindset right now and just talking about when you might feel like you have caught something, okay? So one thing is the ginger is really a beautiful oil to add to 1 drop to some boiling water. Wait till the steam calms just a bit, a little drop of honey and the ginger, and it's really warming and opening to the chest. Nice one to think about also if you're dealing with any kind of cough. Okay, so another favorite of mine is our Touchline, and I couldn't do this without mentioning the frankincense roller, because this is what I use. I use this over my lymph nodes, and I use it also for my thyroid. Another side conversation, but that's really for easy application, you guys. So this is if you're like, how in the world am I gonna make my own rollers and do all of this? I just want it to be easy, grab in my purse or carry in my pocket. We do carry all of the oils that I just mentioned in a pre-made diluted roller. Now, why do they make them in both? Because lots of people like to take them internally and also use them in our diffusers. So it's really nice to have both options. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about 2 oils that work really powerfully in on our immune system and all of our systems. And this is a new oil that we have called copaiba, or some people call it copaiba. So either one, I think the proper is copaiba. but we can go either way with this one. And this is a fantastic oil for all of the body systems, but I'm talking about really more respiratory and immunity. So copaiba is great to add to your immune blends. It's going to soothe things out and smooth it over. You absolutely can take a drop internally, and if you want to, you can try it as a overall nervous system protocol by taking 2 to 3 drops 3 times a day. Another one that is also very, very parallel is black pepper. Black pepper is a little more warming. Believe it or not, it has a really beautiful aroma. I love this oil in the diffuser. It doesn't smell like you would think. It doesn't smell like you're going to sneeze like you would if you were to smell some black pepper that you just grind up. It has a really rich aroma, and it's very, very powerful for our system as well. So I'm not going to go too deeply into the science of both these oils, but I highly recommend you Googling them or asking me about it, and I can share more about that. So these two, super important to have around when all the oils are sort of working. They'll kick it up a notch. They are both enhancers of the other oil's powers. 2 more oils that I want to talk about for your immune system, colds and flus, right? Coughs are going to be part of that, are thyme and rosemary. Rosemary and thyme, which feel really in tune with the holiday right now. But rosemary and thyme have a different chemical makeup than, say, oregano, and they're also super helpful in fighting off things, okay? I'm trying to be compliant here and not say too many things that are going to ruffle any feathers. But I do want to tell you that thyme is really, really powerful for those deep chest coughs. So if you have that, to that steam mix that I talked about earlier, adding the peppermint, oregano, and lemon or lime, add in some thyme, okay, and see how that can shift the cough. Rosemary as well. Sometimes rosemary is just better than oregano. You know, we know that there are so many different kinds of coughs and bacterias and colds that go around, and some of them have a better affinity for others because they do have different chemical constituents in them, okay? So just important to know that you have options. These top 10 oils are the most used that I first covered, but it's really, really helpful to be able to really have the breadth of all of the oils so that you can get more specific, more targeted, and have better results. You know, my goal when I first started with using doTERRA was to have every single oil, and this company is so generous. We have so many generous people, and I got really lucky, and I actually won the Every Oil Kit, and I didn't even know that I had won it. And that was one of the things that really shifted my relationship with using the oils, because I began to get a lot better results with just using my reference book. I really recommend the Modern Essentials. We also have an app, and that really shifted things for me, okay? So now I'm going to shift gears into other things we can do for our immune system. One is taking a probiotic in the winter. We have one called PB Assist. I love it. I'm going to show you what it looks like because I think it looks like this really like sci-fi pill. The reason why that is it has this coating around it to help it get into the intestinal tract where it needs to be. And I find these to be very powerful. I recommend taking 3 at night if you're feeling compromised, okay? Otherwise, you can add it to your daily supplement routine. Oh, we're having problems over here on Insta. I may lose you guys. For your kids, and I have them because little secret confession, I love these, and they are different in what probiotics are in there. So these are little sticks that you can take for kids, and they love them. They have a watermelon natural flavor in them. They're really healthy, and they're delicious. To me, they feel like pixie sticks, a healthy pixie stick, and they're probiotics. And so even for really little ones, you can cut them in half, and they can just put their fingers in it and go like that, and just eat it naturally like that, or you can add it into their yogurt. Because yogurt on its own really isn't enough probiotics. That's the thing, okay? So these are great these are definitely a tool to have in your house throughout the winter to support your digestive tract and your immune system. So much of our immunity and also our mental health lays in our gut. And more science is now matching that, that mindset, that it's very important for us to think both. So having said that, and I did mention your supplement program, I can't walk away from talking about immunity and colds without just talking about our Lifelong Vitality Pack for just a second. Not a long introduction to it. These are game changers. And the only time that I have fallen ill in the last 5 years with doTERRA was when either I ran out of these or I forgot to have this with me. And I'm going to talk about this before I sign off. This is like the secret sauce, okay? Oh, you guys can't see it. It's the OnGuard Plus. So this is your omegas. Everybody has probably heard about omegas. So these are your omegas. Everybody should be taking one. I love ours because it has frankincense in it. It has plant and sea base. For you vegetarian or vegans, we do have a vegan option. And it also has the boswellia that comes out of the frankincense when the oil is being made, which is the anti-tumor property. So this is like a really unique and special formula. And then we have our two, this is our multivitamin. And it comes from whole foods. So it's very easy to absorb in our body versus a lot of the synthetic multis that are out there. These are in capsule form versus pill form, right? So capsule form, also because it's whole foods, we can actually absorb this into our body. Those, what is it called? Centrum 21, those just sit in there. They don't even, if you ever were to do a scan, some people who have taken that, they just sit in there. They don't even dissolve. It's very difficult for the system to dissolve. You're also not, forgive me for being graphic, but you're also not urinating out this bright yellow or green with these because all those nutrients are staying inside you. Okay, and then the last one, which is in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, is our high level of antioxidants. So antioxidants are powerful immune boosters, supporters. And so when you're taking these every day, and it is an adjustment to take supplements, take it from me, it was a huge adjustment for me. I used to teach food as medicine only. And I really believed we could get all of our nutrients from our foods if we were really diligent in that, until I showed up with a lot of nutritional deficiencies when I went through some health issues around my thyroid. So I'm speaking to you from my own experience that taking that extra effort of twice a day, taking your supplements can make a huge difference in how you feel and how you are able to stand strong in the face of all of the germs and things that are floating around, okay? So last thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to say goodbye, is the OnGuard Plus. OnGuard Plus is different than the beadlets, okay? I often get the confusion from people and I say, okay, make sure you have your OnGuard Plus, and they say, oh yeah, I've got my beadlets. I love carrying those around. They're amazing. So OnGuard does make these little beadlets, which is one drop in a little pellet that you can take and pop that in your mouth for easy access. Also great to add to your kids' applesauce or something if they don't like the spiciness of the OnGuard. But the OnGuard soft gels are amazing. I don't leave home without these. And actually, we just got back from our trip, which is why the house is a bit of a mess. And so what this has is the whole full OnGuard blend in it, plus black pepper, which you know I mentioned just a moment ago, which black pepper really helps strengthen the cellular wall, okay? It has Melissa in it. Melissa is one of the most highly revered immune oils. It's antibacterial and antiviral. Melissa is a very expensive oil in a 5 milliliter bottle. At wholesale price with us, it's $135. Okay, this I think it's maybe less than $30, around maybe 31. I can't remember exactly, but it's very affordable. You're getting the Melissa in here with that black pepper and the whole OnGuard blend. And so these are actually really powerful. You can take up to 5 a day if you are starting to feel like you're really getting sick. That's what I would say. It's coming around, or your family's sick, start taking them. Don't take 2 at a time. It's really too much. So low dose, high frequency. Just keep remembering that low dose, high frequency. 2 at a time, it's almost like you're wasting it. So I really recommend taking 1. If you really want to boost your system, 1 every couple hours, one every 2 hours, right? 5 is really the max. And you will kick that out. My stepfather, he doesn't fly without him, okay? So it's great to take 1 right before popping on the flights, because we know that those airplanes are like these little germ collectors. And it's just siphoning through the same air for a very long flight. And so even if the person isn't behind you who's sick, you are more vulnerable. So it's not that I want to pass on this fear of germs or the fear of the flu this year. It's just that I want to recommend taking care ahead of time so that you don't have to get sick and you don't have to take the opportunity to get sick to rest, right? Because that's what happens a lot of the time, is that we go until we get sick, and then we're forced to rest. So take the resting when you're feeling well, so you can enjoy that resting and you can enjoy your family. And make sure that when you're using your oils, you are hydrating. The oils do have natural alcohols in them, so they can be drying. And so we want to make sure that we're hydrating a lot and allowing those oils to flow through our system with more ease. Personally, I can't talk about hydrating without taking a drink. And I know I told you I was done, but I forgot one really important oil that I really want to talk about. And then I'll be done. Rose. So rose essential oil is a beautiful addition to your immunity oils. This is one of the strongest and most high vibrational oils that's out there, and it is really powerful. If you combine rose with frankincense over your lymph areas, you are going to be very well guarded and protected. Okay. Arbor vitae, which I didn't mention, I don't have it. We're waiting for arbor vitae. It's another cedar, and then there's also cedar wood, are also really great for the immune system. So almost all of our oils can support our immune system in one way or another. I'm giving you guys so many options here, so please don't be overwhelmed. I just want you to know that look in what you have and start to think about these in a preventative mindset, not just when you're getting sick, because most of the texts and calls that I'm receiving are once it's already happened. And yes, they are wonderful. They work really beautifully as allies once we've already fallen ill, but we can do a lot for ourselves ahead of time. And sometimes we do need to get sick. So it's not that these are absolutely invincible. There are other processes that we as human beings go through emotionally and spiritually. And sometimes we actually, the illness is bringing us other messages. And so it's not to feel ashamed that you haven't used your oils correctly if you do fall ill. It's just to know there are these options and to try to, move around that. Just on guard and breathe in the diffuser when you fall ill may not be enough. And so that's really the purpose of why I wanted to hop on here. I hope that I didn't give you too much information. Here on Facebook, please ask all the questions that you can on my live feed here. Hi, Chris. Ask away. I'm signing off now. So there's tons of information here, and I think on the Insta story, this will stay up for, gosh, I don't know. This is my first Insta Live, so I really don't know. So you guys tell me. And thanks for listening, and I'll bring you more stuff like this, and let me know how it goes. Okay? Talk to you soon.